I'm recording now. Oh, everybody, this is Dusty Circuit here, and this for the 6th episode of my series. I think we're on episode 6, or I'm guessing, but anyway, this time around I have a special guest for my recording with me, and you wanna introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, my name is Inman, and I played on the server for a
Sure.
little bit shorter
Hi,
time,
my name is N1N,
but
and I've played on the server for
builds
a little bit shorter amount of time than Dusty
and I
has,
helped
but I've
make the base
I've been in several
him
builds that he's
not kill.
done, and I
Yeah.
helped make this base with him
And
and Mod Killer and
this
myself.
this was our first base that we made after the world reset, correct?
Yeah. Basically, the world reset and we got brand new amplified terrain
Yeah.
for worlds.
Basically, the
So
world
I
reset,
was
and we
searching
got brand new
for
amplified
cool
terrain
jungle
for
and
worlds,
I built
and so went out and
Yeah.
searched and found this
Do you
cool jungle
remember if it
in
was
this
still
amplified world,
1.8 or
and
had we moved to 1.9
yeah,
by then?
I think the world's reset at 1.9, like right as we updated.
Yeah.
I think the world's reset at 1.9,
And basically
like
with
right as we
1.9
updated.
and the world reset of 1.8 or
And
1.9,
basically with 1.9 and the world
yeah,
reset of
we got amplified
1.8
terrain,
or
like I said
or
earlier.
1.9, depending on,
Basically that
yeah.
makes you can make
We got
really
amplified
cool
terrain, like I said
bases.
earlier, and
Yeah.
basically that made it so
And
you can make really
for
cool
me, like,
base.
this kind of building here was a little bit of a throwback to a base that I made way back, like in one of my first, like, single player survival worlds. Because I think that, like, then I actually built a base in a mountain, but that wasn't amplified, but this is amplified.
Yeah. I think basically
Yeah.
the original idea was to have like a large tower in the middle.
I think basically the original idea was to have
Yeah.
like a large tower in the middle, and then it branch off to 4 corners, hence the name 4 corners.
Yeah.
And basically in each corner we'd have
And
like buildings that were unique to us.
Basically, after a while, it kind of was decided that we would
Basically, after a while, it kind of was decided that we would make like
yeah.
a short tower with
around
some
here.
cool 4 corner parts in it,
Yeah.
and just build around here. And yeah,
My main contribution to this base was of course, we have this level kind of on the ground that I guess was here originally, but my contribution was, firstly, where I'm standing right now, I built a tree farm, but I ended up removing it because I think it just wasn't working out well. Like, I think it was something to do with pistons not working well on the server, and I guess I just removed it and I didn't end up replacing it.
Yeah, and I think possible server lag was an issue.
Yeah.
yeah, and I think possible server lag
And
was an issue.
next, I would have built this giant minecart kind of elevator that goes all the way up to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And of course, it's even got multiple floors,
Yeah.
and you could just basically how it works is you turn this and let you select which floor you want to go to, and then you just press the button and you go up. And even, of course, a lot of redstone went into this, as you can see.
Yeah. If you see like little decorations like this, I made them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I saw like
If you see like little decorations like this, I made them, and I saw like cool builds from a YouTuber called like Pixel Riffs, and this is like a
Yeah.
foosball table, just some cool decoration that doesn't really have a use, but it's just cool.
Another little decoration, like I put like a little hopper or cauldrons in the ceiling.
Another little decoration, like
Yeah.
I put like a little hopper or cauldrons in the ceiling because they have like a little cool texture when the bottom
Yeah.
plates, which not that many people use it, which
Yeah.
can be
I built this area
used.
back when.
I built this area back
Yeah.
when about when the world reset, like after,
Yeah.
like a bit after we started the space, and I put all the old maps that we had. Some of them I moved to
Yeah.
newer bases just to keep them up to date and have the cool map.
Should we go up to the storage room next, or like?
Sure.
Sure.
I'll go first. I'll take the elevator up first, then you take it up. And this elevator went through several different changes in my time in the space. It originally was an elevator where you would look directly up at a minecart, and there would just be a stack of minecarts, and you would think you would just like hold like right click, and it would just make you go upward, and didn't use any redstone at all. But I think at one point that kind of stopped working, and eventually I kind of changed it to this design, which for a little while actually ended up kind of quit working, and that kind of ended up being kind of one of the reasons I kind of left the space, because it was this was back before I had fly, so it's like really the only good ways to get up here was with the elevator. Well, if you can't use the elevator, then it's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's like a little secret over here, right?
Yeah.
I think there's like a little secret over here, right? Like a little
like enchantment table.
Yeah.
little like enchantment table.
And this storage room I originally would have built, but of course I think you kind of decorated it, and of course a lot of us added on to it.
Yeah, like I added like this little headroom.
Yeah.
Used to have a bunch of heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I added like this little headroom that used to have a bunch of heads, and then creeper
And
exploded and didn't really repair it and just moved the
this
heads
was
onto the
broken
new
for the
base.
longest time, but I finally got it working. It's like a hidden crafting table. Like I literally fixed it up just so I could make this video.
There was some overflow here for
Yeah.
I think it was just if you wanted.
There was some overflow over here for I think
Yeah,
it was just if you wanted
this was
to
originally kind
store
of
items fast and
since
didn't
this
really care
room
where
is
they
not
went.
auto sorting, we kind of sometimes it's like I think we had a thing where for whatever, if I just want to quickly dump inventory, it would just go in this room, and then like every so often.
Like some coffee.
And then, like every so often, we were supposed to sort it
Yeah,
into
there's
the
like some
storage room
there's like some hopper
manually.
chests.
Yeah, I don't think that happened after a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think
wouldn't,
that happened
like,
after a while. They just
now
kind
that I
left
think
it
of
in.
it, it wouldn't actually take that much to at least make part of this room auto sorting, though. Like I could go with that design that I think Sadie used, or possibly even her new
Yeah.
design.
Yeah, probably. So there's your storage and stuff.
Yeah, probably.
Most of that got moved over.
So there's just
This was
storage and
farms.
stuff, and most of that got moved over.
Craft paper over here.
Yeah.
We used to craft paper over here.
Yeah. Of course, this would have
And then we
been
traded to villagers.
like melon and pumpkin farm, and down over here, this would have been sugarcane. This was actually a design that I have used back in the old multi-farms, but I actually kind of built it in here. And of course, you could do farms a lot less complicated nowadays. But back then, the cool thing about this design is it's almost lossless, or probably even was completely lossless, but you only needed one row of pistons to harvest like 3 block high sugarcane. And how it worked is it would like double pulse, so that like so it's basically that way it would harvest the sugarcane while being lossless.
Mm.
And then of course there's windows and stuff over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course there's windows and stuff over here just to look out.
Over here was kind of like a brewing area, and even had a few farms to go along with that. This used to be a netherwort farm, but of course the soul sand isn't here anymore. But how this would work is you'd press a button, and then this would like shift back and forth, and that way it would auto harvest the sugarcane in the netherwort. And this was a brown mushroom farm. It was really nothing special. You'd harvest the mushroom and then you'd grow it with bone meal. And down here was a brewing, or like an auto brewing area. This worked mostly, you just would put ingredients in here in glass bottles, and it would just auto brew until it runs out of either ingredients or water bottles.
Yeah.
And of course, this would have come in handy for wither fights. So it's like basically, if I needed potions for a wither fight, I'd go grab them here.
Yeah.
And I never ended up doing anything with this area, but I think I wanted to have like a window looking out, or I think I would have had plans to add something here, but I never finished it.
Yeah. I think there's some beacons right here. There's carpet.
Yeah.
I think
there was beacons.
I think there are some beacons right here because there's carpet going up too. Yeah.
and of course,
Some staples.
yeah.
Cool aesthetics that also.
There's some stables over here.
And of course, this being in an
Just,
amplified biome,
some cool aesthetics that
we
also
made
were
lots of these
useful
like,
at
lookout
times.
areas, and I think there was also one on the other side of the storage room as well.
Yeah.
This area was sort of a project that I kind of dumped a lot of time into, but I eventually got it working, but I think when we left the space, I scrapped out all the redstone. Well, what this was this crazy, like, mass storage system where basically you'd have, like, I think I had, like, large, like storage silos. Like one of these would be for stone, one for sand, but this was like a huge amount of storage for it. And of course I even made all these like dials where you could select like how many items you wanted to request and what item you wanted to request, and of course I had like a button to request minecarts and items, and these rooms I'm in right now are just these were filled with redstone, but of course I've since gutted that, but some of the redstone is actually still remains. I guess I just haven't gotten to removing it, but of course sort of a glimpse of what this area would have looked like just how dense it would have been with redstone.
Yeah, I remember you building this. Yeah, I remember it's like a crazy project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you building this, and I remember it's like a crazy project, and I don't know if you. I remember it got into a working
I
state
think I
eventually, but
got it
I don't know if
finished,
it kept
but
if it
it
stayed in a working condition.
either that was by the time I got it finished, I kind of ended up leaving the base because it got too laggy, or maybe that build itself caused lag and I ended up removing it or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
but especially around especially into the base that would have come after this base, I was like really like it's like this was a point in time where I basically was all in on redstone on Autcraft, like even to the point of like wanting to build really big crazy stuff that most survival Minecrafters wouldn't think of doing.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a way for me to just kind of gave me something to do, and it just in a way it kind of like set me apart from other Autcrafters in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, this used to be Are you still down there?
Yeah, this used to be
But you're still down there?
No.
Are you still down there in the storage? No. I asked if you are, but over here, this if you go down here, it used to be one of those old
Yeah.
cool like item things that moved up, and I designed it, and it looked pretty cool when it worked, but sadly it doesn't work
Wouldn't
anymore.
be too hard to get it. Wouldn't take
Tried to get
much
it
to
in a
get it
working
working today,
state, but
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be.
Basically, the way it worked before was to use like a fence gate thing,
Basically,
and
the way it worked
or not
before was it used like a fence gate thing,
Yeah.
fences, they
and or not fence gate, but fences.
basically made
So fences, they
made blocks go through the glass block.
basically made.
Non-trans.
They were pretty weird, and they made
Yeah.
blocks go through the glass
And many-
blocks and
Yeah.
not like even non-transparent ones. But
But
they fixed that.
luckily,
in, like,
they
1.8.
sort of added that feature back in a way, but we just do it with water. Yeah.
Oh yeah, water too, but dispensers can be
Yeah.
Dispensers.
used just
Oh yeah, water too, but
Yeah.
dispensers can be
Well, I
used just
mean, one
because
of
it
the
looks more clean.
highlights of that method is it was you could do it entirely without redstone, but with the dispenser method you need a clock.
yeah. Basically, well, you could do the
Yeah.
clock where it's like
Basically, well, you could do the dispenser
Yeah,
clock where it's like
with the comparators.
it doesn't go until there's an item.
well, is there
I'm working on fixing it right now.
You know your
Well, is there
area you had at
other
the,
things you
near
wanted to
the
look at?
top of the elevator that was like for your different like it was like your events calendar.
Yeah. So those I
Mm,
think I might have moved them
yeah.
to the base, but
Yeah.
So those I think I might have moved them to that new base, but we can check if they're there.
basically I had souvenirs and stuff that
Basically, I had souvenirs and stuff
were just like items
that
were like
I framed, and
or pretty unique items.
some of them were just like items that were renamed, and some of them were pretty unique items. And I think
Yeah.
I have a bunch of unique items at the base that we currently use pretty often, and those are all basically just rare items that you can't
Yeah.
really get anymore unless they spawn them in, just cause.
Basically, some of them
And with this, I set them in like an order. Basically, some of them were like this sign says first diamond tool. I don't think it actually was, but it might have been. And basically, they're all in item frames. And some of them, like I said, were just unique items. Like I think there's a Village of Booze one, like pumpkin, special pumpkin, and some of them were
Yeah.
just like renamed die, stating when I got buddy or when I got helper.
And I think Mod would have built that barn over there.
I think I helped with that.
Yeah.
I remember.
I think I helped with it at least, yeah. I remember flying up
Yeah.
here with leads and with animals to attracting animals up here. But I don't
Yeah.
know how the animals aren't here anymore. There's some cows. Huh.
And at the very top of
That's
the
scary.
elevator, I would have made the elevator go basically I made the elevator stop all the way at the build height limit so that you could jump off with the elytra.
Yeah, and I made like some rings. I don't know if I was actually able to
Yeah, and I made like some rings.
complete that.
I don't know if I was actually able to
Yeah.
complete that with the like.
Yeah.
I could try if I wanted, but
Uh
some of them were pretty lenient.
Was it that, was the bridge
I
that's
guess some
like
of them
kind
were
of
pretty
next to the ship,
lenient.
like, was that mostly you, or was it Mod and you?
Yeah, that was all me. I just decided I wanted a bridge.
Yeah, that was all me. I just
Yeah.
decided I wanted a
Well,
bridge
it's,
here and
yeah.
made a super tall,
Yeah.
cool bridge. And I used the end
Yeah, I
rods as a
definitely
cable to
think that's
make it
well
look like a
suited for an
bridge that was
amplified
suspended like
vinyl.
that.
Yeah. And then I added under support down here, basically.
Yeah. And then I added under support down here, and basically I just put like some triangle-esque
Yeah.
looking shapes that were just pretty cool. And I was like, oh, that could look good
Yeah.
as an underside. Probably took me like 3 or 4 days to make,
And
but
this
I
was
like that.
more late, one of my later editions, but I decided to kind of have a minecart track that went underground, and I did mining down there.
Yeah, with things too.
Yeah.
Yeah, with haze too. Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we this is actually a pretty big area we mined in, but I think at one point we decided to. I think it was either we started using the resource world for mining again, or that was when, or that was when the emerald farms became a thing, maybe.
I think it was probably a resource roll, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was probably a resource roll, but yeah.
Yeah, over here in pirate ship, I just decided to make a pirate ship because it felt like
Yeah, over here in the pirate
Yeah.
ship, I just decided to make a pirate ship because it felt like it kind of fit the theme.
Yeah, let's keep it.
And it just
Had
looked good, so I was like,
somewhat of a big project.
yeah, let's keep it. And then
Yeah.
it was somewhat of a big project, but it was also
Yeah.
kind of a medium-ish project.
It was like, you had to get some wood and
Kind of a medium-large kind of project because it was like you had to get some wood and
Oh,
had to
look at that
design it,
spider.
but
He was like dancing.
wasn't the hardest.
It was like spinning around.
Mm. Cool.
This over here, I think I actually started testing elevators because that was when I was having problems with the elevator before, and I was just, rather than test these in single player, I wanted to test them on the server to see if they would work. And this design over here is what we ended up going with.
yeah, I think this was when that going through pistons.
Yeah, I think this was
That was piston
when that
translocation.
going through pistons
I wish
one
they didn't get rid of
was a
that.
thing,
That was
and
a fun addition.
Yeah.
If it was a glitch.
Yeah.
I wish they didn't get rid of that. That was a fun addition, even if it was a glitch.
I think this one with the cakes would have been like for horses, so you can climb up with a horse.
Yeah.
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 And I remember a bit later on in the base. I vaguely remember Kyla actually building this area over here, or some of us helped build a base for her. Like in this area over here.
Yeah.
This particular location is a little bit out of the way, but another redstone project of mine. This is kind of my idea of making a spleef arena that would like self-regenerate with using stone generators. And I remember we actually did get it working, but we just didn't end up using it really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those things that was cool, but
Yeah, it was just one of
Yeah.
those things that was cool, but we didn't use it.
I think it still works, right?
Yeah.
I think it still works, right?
So we need beacon, but
Except for we need
Yeah.
a beacon, but oops.
and there was a village that I made that was
And there was a village that I made that was
like gave villagers like kind of
that
like
I made. I gave villagers like kind of like
Yeah.
workbenches, but like before they had workbenches, just because they kind of fit the mob.
And
And I gave them beds also.
another thing I remember is actually like before I was even doing YouTube, we actually had a YouTuber tour the space. Do you remember that?
Yeah. It was Monkey Go Go with the secret life of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or life
It was
difficulty.
Monkey Go-Go with the
But
secret
they
life of
took down
something.
the village.
Or life behind the scenes or something.
But
But they
Henry, of
took
course, we
down the
still have
radios. So,
like a statue
yeah.
of Reese of River there, and and I'm guessing the Goku pixel art
Yeah.
was yours too.
Yeah. I just decided to build it just because it looked cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah. I just decided to build it just because it looked cool.
yeah,
And I made like a
And I
giant
made a
monkey.
big stables thing over here for my horses.
yeah,
And I made a big stables thing over here for my horses.
Which was cool.
And there's like an Ender Dragon statue, which was
yeah.
cool. I also got from,
But yeah,
I partially made it from a YouTube video.
this was probably one of my more favorite parts of the game.
But yeah,
Yeah.
this was probably one of my more favorite parts of the base.
And this was really a fun base. And I definitely, I would look forward to us actually coming back here and
Yeah.
kind of revamping it. But Mod actually pointed out that we have a few
Yeah.
chests from Kyla that are still claimed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, this base was like an open base where we kind of
Basically, this base was like an open
Yeah.
base where we kind of built what we
And
wanted, and that would have been fun
mod cooler, I think, made
and
like
just
a
looked cool.
little underground.
Like I made, like me and Mod Color, I think, made like a
Didn't have any
little underground museum type
Yeah.
thing, and it was just
And
didn't have any
the only
use for it. It was just cool looking.
and at least for me personally, the only reason I really ended up leaving the space was because of lag. Because at the time I had of course I have my old computer, and I remember like I was constantly, I probably only managed to get maybe 30, 40 FPS here at times, and I was just getting stuttering like a lot. And I guess after enough time, I just kind of decided I wanted to get away from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that basically happened to me too.
But of course,
Yeah, that basically
of course,
happened to me
both of
too.
us have since
I was just
upgraded our
logged out and
PCs.
didn't want to.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm getting about
Yeah.
60 FPS here on 10 chunks. Of course, with Optifine.
Yeah, I have some beefy settings going on right now, so I'm at like 30.
Yeah, I have some beefy settings going on right now,
Yeah.
so I'm at like 30 settings, but or 30 FPS, but I can change. And it's raining.
But it's like on my old computer, I usually play on 6 chunks, and even then I'd be getting less frame rate than I am now, I think.
Yeah.
One of the very last things I ended up building here, I'm guessing you may have seen this before, but I actually built like a little redstone museum underground.
Yeah.
Well, it was more of why I intended it to be more like a school where you like learn about redstone. And really the idea is you'd kind of read like it would just kind of start. It would just kind of teach you basics of redstone, and then go into slightly more advanced concepts. And then the very end, I had some some actual like build set up.
Isn't gold like different?
Isn't gold like
because
different amount of mobs
the
on
iron
it?
one
Yeah.
is the same
Or
but less
different amount of
sensitive.
entities.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah, that's really not sensitive.
Yeah.
Because I had like a bunch of items on there, and there's only 2.
Yeah.
I can tell because I have a texture pack, but yeah.
I actually kind of would like to build something like this, but like possibly have it open to the public if that's even possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of this one, the bedrock repeater. It doesn't get used that
Yeah,
often.
it's kind of this one, the bedrock repeater.
Yeah.
It doesn't get used that often, but sometimes I find a little bit of use out of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those
Like
features
I do
that
use it
people don't
sometimes.
ever think about, basically. Mm-hmm.
I think this one had pistons under. Did it? Oh.
Well, this was more just
I think
showing
this one
you
had
that
pistons
redstone
under
can
it,
go through
or
blocks with their
did
hero.
it? I don't know. Oh, yeah.
Kind of just demonstrating, but some of them.
Yeah.
Kind of just demonstrating some of them.
I just included this because this is a big part of like redstone computers.
Yeah. Because they have to be calculated stuff.
Yeah. Because they have to be calculated and
Inputs
stuff.
to one is pretty useful.
Yeah.
And changing 2 inputs to 1 is pretty useful.
These, a lot of these circuits actually are some of the most useful in the game right here.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't.
Oh, that's cool. I
And
didn't.
by the way, I did not actually reference, I don't think I referenced the wiki to make any of this. This is all kind of based on my own knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is really old.
Yeah.
No observers.
I don't
Oh,
think
this is really old.
I don't think even observers
Said
were out when
no
I built
observers.
this yet.
And it still works too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe both of these doors would have been from Mumbo Jumbo. And they have, and that bigger one, I actually used that in my very first base.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's a good spot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is a good spot to end it. It's a little bit too fast.
And thank you all for watching the video, and this has been my episode 6, I think, of my kind of my own on my history of my builds on Autcraft, and uh, hope you've enjoyed the video. Remember to rate, comment, like, and subscribe. And this is Dusty Circuit signing out. We'll see you later.
See ya.
See ya.